backyard fire? Zhao Lusi's fan club collectively stopped updating to oppose second partner Liu Yuning. Netizens reveal the truth. Zhao Lusi has been in the limelight recently. Due to her surprise appearance at Milan Fashion Week and her exaggerated photo with the founder of a certain brand, she has received a rare high level of attention abroad. This fashion trip was supposed to come to an end with 2 days of overseas live broadcast. Unfortunately, at this critical moment, Zhao Lusi encountered more difficult problems. In the early morning of September 27th, Zhao Lusi's national fan club hacked her avatar and published a long article. She confessed that her efforts were ignored by the studio, and her communication with the studio did not receive an effective reply, so she chose to stop updating until the studio gave a valid reply. Other official websites of Zhao Lusi also responded in the comment area. Such an embarrassing scene really sounded like a fire in the backyard. The origin of the matter can be traced back to the day before when it was reported that Zhao Lusi and Liu Yuning was starring in Pearl Curtain and Jade Curtain. Zhao Lusi's fans not only believed that the age gap between the two was too large, but also concluded that Liu Yuning would definitely bundle up for hype, so they were very unfavorable about the two of them cooperating. This was originally just a personal appeal of some fans. Unexpectedly, after these fans spoke out, they received support from the vast majority of fans. The first drama series that Zhao Lusi and Liu Yuning collaborated on was Long Swing Xing. Their HOI and CP was very popular at the time and even stole the spotlight from the male and female protagonists. According to Zhao Lusi's fans, during the collaboration of this work, the various behaviors of the man and the fans caused Zhao Lusi to fall into negative public opinion many times. Therefore, the fans' rejection of the two's duo this time was actually to protect Zhao Lusi. There must be some netizens who think that Zhao Lusi's fan club and fans are making unreasonable troubles. However, the star's daily updates and work announcements mostly rely on fan clubs and tap water. Star Studios also have communication channels with them. The behavior of Zhao Lusi's support club this time is objectively quite touching, but whether Zhao Lusi ultimately appreciates it is another matter. A netizen told the truth about this matter, that is, support clubs may not be a good medicine sometimes. Although fan clubs have higher authority and information channels than ordinary fans, because they do not know the artist's decisions and career plans, it is easy for them to act on their own initiative and even come out to speak against the artist, embarrassing the artist. In the entertainment industry, the first thing many artists do after becoming famous is to disband their fan clubs, such as Zhang Xiaopi and Gao Yun. They believe that they still have to rely on their works to speak for themselves and do not want to follow the rice circle style. For Zhao Lusi, since she has chosen to accept the existence of the support club, she must listen to its opinions as much as possible and never do such a thing as having both. The essence of artists taking on roles is for profit. Because they have formed a CP before, it is understandable from any point of view to work together again. Of course, the cast of Pearl Curtain and Jade Curtain has not yet made any statement, so everything should be based on official news. People's Daily commented that Zhao Lusi said that she didn't mention acting skills at all, but she was very good at it. Among the many popular domestic dramas currently on the air, which one is your must-have meal? Is it 3 Points that combines love and workplace, or Illuminate You that combines sweet pets and industry? Or the popular period drama The Sea in My Dreams? It is undeniable that each of these dramas has its own merits, but which one is the most unique is The Back Wave starring Wu Gang and Zhao Lusi. Industrial dramas have always occupied the mainstream in the Chinese drama market. In recent years, there have been many works showing various industries such as finance, construction, lawyers, etc., but Back Wave focuses on traditional Chinese medicine. Whether it is the depiction of 2 generations of traditional Chinese medicine inheritors or the various difficulties encountered by the master-disciple inheritance model in modern society, they are all presented in the play. The audience follows the drama, but at the same time they also learn about the industry from more perspectives. The success of this drama is inseparable from its realistic and exciting scripts and precise casting. 1. Talk about the inheritance of traditional Chinese medicine and face up to the current social situation. Hanglang has attracted everyone's attention before it was broadcast. It is inseparable from the attraction brought by its subject matter. It has successfully distinguished this drama from other works with the same subject matter. In the past, there was no shortage of work showing the traditional Chinese medicine industry in the Chinese drama market, but most of them were related to the rise and fall of the family. However, Our Wave tells the story of the inheritance of traditional Chinese medicine in a modern context. The play popularizes the knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine to the audience in various ways. For example, during the meal, the medicinal efficacy and functions of the lotus plant are explained in detail. While letting the audience understand the knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine, they also realize that learning traditional Chinese medicine can be based on all aspects of life and then applied to actual life. But Hao Lang talks about traditional Chinese medicine, and it is not just about traditional Chinese medicine. It also reveals many social current conditions. For example, the play revolves around the derailment problem that full-time women face in marriage, reflecting the plight of many people in real life. However, the play did not fall into the cliché and deviate from the main line of the story. Instead, it combined this case with the theme of the play to give the characters a different understanding of life in the process of contacting traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine heals people as well as the heart. The victim in this case gradually gained a new life from being unable to get out of the predicament, which has brought us a lot of life inspiration. In the early plot, the character Meng Meng is also very representative. She was labeled as impure by the outside world and her family, which is undoubtedly a heavy blow and hurt to women who are not yet mature mentally. It is also a very common social phenomenon for family members to solve problems in ways that they think are good for Meng Meng, but in fact they do not face her heart. Although the Chinese medicine doctor in the play did not directly cure the other party's mental illness through his own medical skills, in the process, he helped the other party gradually get out of the predicament from the perspective of Chinese medicine. Although the play raises many social issues, the overall tone does not make people feel depressed and dull. Instead, it is presented in a more peaceful way in a relaxed atmosphere. The audience can not only see their own reflections in it, but also gain a better understanding of traditional Chinese medicine through these cases. This is also the key to Hangling, making people more and more addicted to it. Second, Wu Gang and Zhao Lusi have a full sense of contrast, and Zhao Lusi is underestimated. The drama Hangling chooses the powerful actor Wu Gang and the popular traffic Zhao Lusi as the male and female protagonists, which is very fresh from the perspective of the combination. But after watching the performance of the two, the freshness is only one aspect. The old Chinese medicine doctor played by Wu Gang gives people a more stable and heavy feeling, while the Chinese medicine doctor played by Zhao Lusi is lively and cheerful. We can see in them two people of different ages, different attitudes towards life, and different perceptions of traditional Chinese medicine. At the same time, we can find some commonalities in the contrasting personalities. For example, the reverence for life and expectations for life, etc., and as the plot continues to develop, Tao Tao Sun, played by Zhao Lusi, becomes more and more similar to Ren Xinzheng, played by Wu Gang. For Wu Gang, who has appeared in Wolf Warrior 2, In the Name of the People and other works, it is not surprising to show such a level of acting skills. On the contrary, Zhao Lusi has brought us more surprises. The People's Daily commented on Zhao Lusi's performance and did not mention her acting skills at all, but she was still very good at every word. At the end of the article, the People's Daily mentioned, the popular actress Zhao Lusi brings to life a sweet and heroine-like girl, Sun Tao Tao. Together with Ren Xinzheng, they are active and quiet, lively and heavy, and together they become the funny person in the play. Since Zhao Lusi had previously appeared in idol dramas and costume dramas, everyone's perception of her acting skills was limited to her past works. This time in this traditional Chinese medicine inheritance drama, Zhao Lusi can be said to have transformed into a realistic interpretation of a growing character like Sun Tao Tao. The further you look back, the more you can find the dazzling features of this character. From the beginning, the audience criticized her role as Tao Tao Sun, and then they became more and more fond of this kind-hearted girl who thinks about others. For example, in the play, in order to allow the apprenticeship class to continue, it was Ren Xianzhen's idea that caused the accident, but Sun Tao Tao took the blame for the other party without saying a word. Even in the face of his master's wife's accusation, Mr. Sun gritted his teeth and resisted. He could feel her grievance and see her determination. One of the most impressive scenes was when a customer filled in the wrong address, causing Tao Tao Sun to send the wrong wedding ring. It was obviously not Tao Tao Sun's fault, but for the happiness of the newlyweds, she found her downstairs neighbor and begged him, return the ring, even kneeling on the ground. As stubborn as Tao Tao Sun, he is still willing to fight for the happiness of others. Even if she humbled her dignity, there was still no trace of regret on her face. It seemed that it was worth it to her. Tao Tao Sun makes people feel distressed when looking at her like this, but one can also feel her sincerity and purity more and more. This chivalrous spirit of being able to stand up for strangers directly increases the likability of the character. Under Zhao Lusi's interpretation, you can feel the disapproval and even numbness of traditional Chinese medicine from Sun Tao Tao in the early stage. However, after being exposed to it for a long time, not only did her attitude change significantly, but she can also be seen in her eyes. The desire to become an inheritor of traditional Chinese medicine. Zhao Lusi interprets the image of such a girl who is lively and a bit carefree in the early stage in a natural and relaxed manner, but also makes the subsequent transformation of gradually becoming ideal and no longer regarding filling her stomach as the ultimate goal of life real and palpable. The audience can rely on Zhao Lusi's acting skills to immerse themselves in the character, understand the sadness of Tao Tao's son, and be impressed by her perseverance. There is no doubt that Zhao Lusi played this role vividly and fully stepped out of her comfort zone with Hengling. So, what do you think of Zhao Lusi's performance in the play? South Wind Knows My Will has attracted heated discussions, the second male lead stunned the audience, and Cheng Yi's soy sauce character also attracted attention. The double comment area of the TV series South Wind Knows My Will was almost filled with negative comments from the audience. Some netizens said bluntly, the male protagonist is really weird, and the female protagonist is useless except for being a little prettier. Why don't you two team up and sign up for an acting class? Some people even said, I'm so disappointed. I watched 5 episodes and gave up. I've been looking forward to this TV show for so long. The plot is cliché and the acting is so bad. From the plot to the casting of the actors, South Wind Knows My Will seems to be in trouble. The original work itself has a considerable sense of age, including ancient romance elements such as competition for wealthy families, affectionate sadomasochism, disability and brokenness, etc. These plots can almost be found in the original work. Therefore, it seems difficult for the TV series Southern Wind Knows What I Want to get rid of the cliched and cliché plot trends. What's even more disappointing is that the pace of the show is too slow and the characters have become too stereotyped and labeled. The leading actors Cheng Yi and Zhang Yuxi were also criticized by the audience. There is room for improvement in Cheng Yi's acting skills. One of the biggest problems is his unnatural performance when delivering lines, which sometimes even seems unprofessional. At the beginning of the plot, the male protagonist Fu Yunshin, played by Cheng Yi, saw his beloved again, but fell into rage due to low self-esteem. Not only did this scene fail to impress the audience, it actually seemed ridiculous. In addition, Cheng Yi's appearance has also received some negative comments. In contrast, Zhang Yuxi's beauty is undisputed, but in some scenes, Cheng Yi's image is relatively unsatisfactory. The lower half of his face is obviously not perfect, the facial lines are not smooth enough, and coupled with the weak makeup, the whole image lacks energy. In such a plot, the male protagonist's weakness may be a plot requirement, but in urban romance dramas, the male protagonist's decadent image may make the audience dissatisfied, and even have a negative impact on the TV series. On the contrary, Cheng Yi is more suitable for role modeling in costume dramas. However, Zhang Yuxi's appearance still stands, but her performance has also caused some controversy. In The South Wind Knows My Will, in addition to her excellent performance in the crime scene, her daily scenes often seemed dull, her eyes lacked energy, and her eyes were dull. It was supposed to be the warm little sun that helped the male protagonist get out of the gloom, but in the play, Zhang Yuxi's performance made her look deeper than the male protagonist. Unlike the starring role, the supporting roles performed quite well, which is not uncommon in domestic dramas in recent years. Some supporting characters caused complaints from the audience with their overly outstanding performances, while others supported the highlight of the entire drama with their powerful performances. The summer release of My World's Fireworks is the latter. Nowadays, the reputation and evaluation of South Wind Knows What I Want also show this trend. Although Fu Zizhao, the second male lead played by Fu Zhenbo, is not as famous as Cheng Yi, his facial features, face shape and skin condition are more outstanding than Cheng Yi. Especially in the scene wearing a suit, Fu Zhenbo really looks like a sinister and domineering president. In contrast, Cheng Yi's thin figure cannot hold up the majesty of the suit. The setting of the character Fu Zizhao is very attractive. In the original work, he is a character with a cold nature, a cold appearance and a passionate heart. He is an ambitious, illegitimate son who grew up in an environment lacking love. As an adult, Fu Zizhao is seen through the cruelty of the Fu family, resorting to various means and scheming. It is precisely because of this that Fu Zizhao becomes the protagonist who opposes Fu Yunshin. In the original work, Fu Zizhao is the protagonist who made this IP popular. In the TV series The South Wind Knows What I Want, Fu Yunshin became the protagonist and Fu Zizhao became the supporting role. Despite this, the audience can still see in Fu Zizhao's performance the foreshadowing of the character's later blackening. For example, after Grandpa Fu fell ill, Fu Zizhao came to visit. His tone was gentle and full of filial piety and affection for his elders. However, when Grandpa Fu asked Fu Yunshin, Fu Zizhao's eyes changed subtly. At this moment, Fu Zhenbo used his frame-dropping acting skills to show Fu Zizhao's feelings for the Fu family. Although this moment was short, it was full of profound meaning. Fu Zhenbo has always been a treasured actor. Before the TV series South Wind Knows My Will was launched, the audience had seen his performance in many excellent film and television works, including the classic movie Leamy's Conjecture and the hit TV series Eternal Ju Chen. For Fu Xinbo, he has always had excellent acting skills, but he has always needed a chance to prove himself. He almost became famous in the TV series Light Abyss, but due to the limitations of the subject matter, he failed to gain greater attention. Fu Zizhao in the TV series The South Wind Knows What I Want not only has a perfect character setting, but the storyline is also relatively mature. If this character really becomes popular, Fu Xinbo's charm will definitely be no less than that of the male protagonist. However, unfortunately, the performance of the character does not necessarily represent the popularity of the entire work. In My World's Fireworks, Wei Daxon became famous due to his outstanding performance, but the ratings and broadcast volume of the show failed to match the popularity of Outside Discussions. Viewers have different opinions on the premiere effect of the TV series Southern Wind Knows What I Want. However, Fu Xinbo's outstanding performance in the supporting role of Fu Zizhao has aroused the attention and expectations of the audience. This may be a highlight of the show's ability to attract more viewers. In any case, the evaluation of TV series is often subjective, and viewers' opinions of the works will vary from person to person. I hope that future plots can bring more surprises and touches to the audience. In the comment area, everyone is also welcome to share their opinions and discussions.